Hello, this is Joseph Martin with Advanced Tech Care Incorporated, and this is part 2 of VMware's vision for the future of IT, the software-defined data center. This result is a software-defined data center, the architectural approach at the heart of VMware solutions. The software-defined data center empowers IT to enable IT as a service by virtualizing all data center services, compute, storage, networking, and security, and applying policy-based automation so that IT can make infrastructure available when and where the business needs it. VMware gives you the ability to virtualize, automate, and control all data center resources. By abstracting all hardware, compute, storage, networking, and security into software and placing the control layer into the virtual software to present a uniform interface for accessing and controlling data center resources. Pooling the underlying hardware resources to increase efficiency and simplify all data center operation. By abstracting the hardware, we can create virtual pools of resources at each layer, which gives us greater flexibility and efficiency in how you apply hardware resources. So your systems are no longer separated into silos. They're living together in a much more compact and organized space. Finally, automate the allocation, configuration, and management of resources based on defined policies by leveraging a single, consistent management interface across data center resources. The result is a fully automated data center in which everything becomes an on-demand service that can take on the shape and size of the application requirements as they are presented, just-in-time service configuration. And that is what the software-defined data center is all about, a complete break from the past without leaving the valuable applications behind. It takes the control away from the disparate operating systems and puts it back in the hands of IT. Data centers are silos. In contrast to the software-defined data center, the architectural approach of the future, in today's data center, each operating system is managed separately as a unique silo. This means that each application type has its own vertical stack of CPU and operating system type, storage pool, networking and security, and even management systems. Legacy architectures mixed with special purpose environments just to support a diversity of application demands. We call this the operating system-centric approach. You can track the history of vertical silos based on the dominant operating system of the day. This approach is rigid, ineffective, inefficient, and complex to manage. The result is that IT spends greater than 70% of its budget to just keep the lights on. This picture is just not sustainable over time. The software-defined data center does away with the old operating system-centric approach. Just as the classic virtualization hypervisor abstracts and pools both CPUs and memory, the software-defined data center applies this approach to storage and availability services, as well as network and security services, and adds management capabilities to control it all. The result is a fully automated data center consisting of all software services delivered on demand via virtual data centers to support any and all application types, both existing apps and new, modern apps that will increasingly demand more of the data center infrastructure. Instead of retrofitting virtualization into a legacy operating system, VMware is focused on the future of your IT infrastructure. A new standard for agility. The software-defined data center architecture sets a new standard for agility. In the physical world, acquiring hardware and provisioning, deploying, and testing it can take weeks or even months. With virtualization, it's easy to get a virtual machine up in minutes, but apps need data, other apps, security, networking, and storage. It can take days for operations people to get storage provisioned in the right security zone, or to set up a new firewall, or implement new policies and load them into the firewall, and to ensure the right network connections inside and outside the firewall. Submitting a request and waiting 5 days is hardly self-service. Now, all of this can be made virtually available just like servers. New apps can be fully provisioned in seconds. You gain the ability to instantly provision data center and other IT services across the enterprise and direct your IT resources to where they can create the most value. The software-defined data center is ready for whatever the business demands, and IT can proactively provide it. Real business results, innovation, velocity. The software-defined data center's new standard for agility leads to 3 important outcomes. First, the software-defined data center takes IT staff out of the server stacks, spending all of their time in a reactive mode, putting out fires and chasing after changes in the business, and frees them to do what they should be doing, facilitating an environment that enables innovation. Secondly, instead of requiring IT to spend time dealing with multiple systems that were not designed to talk to each other, the software-defined data center presents these seemingly different hardware components as one seamless, agile machine. And finally, when infrastructure is streamlined so that it's agile, efficient, and responsive, the velocity of innovation accelerates. Business agility explodes through increased capabilities, speed, and scale. This is the end of Part 2, the software-defined data center. Please continue with Part 3, paths to the software-defined data center. Thank you.